One thing I've noticed while playing Genshin and WoW is their handling of weapons. In Genshin, every weapon type dictates how your character attacks. If it has a bow, then he will use the bow. And if it has a spear, she will use a spear. At least their normal attack strings. In WoW, the weapon most of the time kind of exists, I guess. Take Siakona for example. She's kind of hitting people with her fucking stick. But there's no stick or pole kind of weapon type in WoW. So what's her weapon? Guns. She uses fucking guns. A gun character with melee range normal attacks. Weapon types don't change the characters. It opens up for more unique designs. And that's one of the reasons I like WoW's system more. And in Genshin they've done these kinds of things before, like Tartaglia, one of the earliest characters, or Child if you prefer. He has a bow as his main weapon, but then you press E and he uses like water blades and shit. But I'd say that's more of a drawback. I feel like it might be a waste of resources. Take Escoffier. Her normal attacks are pretty playful. She uses a spear and uses her tail to do an attack with it. That's pretty fun and cool in my opinion, but you never see it. That's the thing. In Genshin, a lot of the times, characters' rotations are just pressing E and Q and that's it. Which is not a complaint on their fighting complexity, like Genshin has worse mechanics or something. No, it's not. It's just that, why does she have these cool auto attack strings if you never see them? Which is why in WoW, the characters have so much freedom for how their attacks can look like. Like, you know, the character who just came out and everybody's fucking gooning over. She uses a giant circle that can turn into a bow. I wonder what her weapon is. Gauntlets? Nice. One thing too is like that my characters now use weapons that match them. I'm not a rich man. I do not put on the weapon banner. Not often, at least. Sometimes, you know, like sometimes I'm on my knees, like, you know, I love a character. I will pull on it. I'm only human. So instead of having like my character using a weapon that really doesn't match him or her, I much prefer this. One complaint I've seen about this is that this lowers the incentive of summoning on weapon banners. That's a complaint? Come on. Did you blow in from Stupid Town? Who cares? That's just better. Anything to deter me from spending all my precious gems on the weapon banner? Yes sir, I'll take it. Another thing that makes it so great with being able to express this freedom of how characters fight is when introducing like very unique fighting styles. Like I said, the, you know, huge ring and bow stuff. You know, in Genshin, we have Arlecchino. If you own her signature weapon, it will turn into a scythe and look really cool. But if you don't own it... Yeah, no. That was a tragedy. That also brings me to the next point. You don't have to introduce new weapon types into games. Now, Honkai Star Rail did this. They recently introduced, well, recently, it's been months now, I think, in Amphors where Remembrance was introduced as a type. They're not actually like hurt by the weapon system. Like they can make their characters fight however they want because they're just using like cards. While I appreciate that they did give us free stuff, it's not enough, man. Like I have Hyacinth and I have RMC, which shout out to the MC for always being top tier. Look what my customer is using. Oh man, she's so shocked. While what WoW is doing is not the perfect solution because they still have to make weapons for them, the characters, even though they don't appear at all or almost never. I still think it's more preferable to how Genshin does it. Even if we were to use like a Blightcomb system like Star Rail, like the characters just use their innate weapons they came with. It does fix most of the downsides, but it creates new ones. Like for the people who like to actually customize their characters, with the light cones you can't really customize. They would just use whatever weapon they have, right? I think going with skins in the game is a good step at least, but it's not been implemented very well. Like in WoW, I don't know how many skins we have and some of them are just paid. And in Genshin, oh, it's fucking locked behind some of the hardest content ever. We're like, bruh, I ain't gonna do that. There's also another downside is that by just watching the trailer, you wouldn't know what kind of weapon to use. I remember that guy who was saving for Sani and got a broadblade when she's using like gauntlets. Anyways, that's all I want to yap about. Bye bye.